Hello, YouTubers. It's Sunday, June 12th. Yes, this is DJ Romeo Great. You can hear me on WeGetLifterRadio.com on Friday nights, 9 p.m. I do a house music buffet, and that's 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West, and 2 a.m. Saturday morning in the UK. That's every Friday on WeGetLifterRadio.com, the house music buffet. This is a gear video this time because I do videotape my shows and post it on YouTube. But this is a gear video. And if you recall the last gear video that I did, it was on the Reloop Mixon 4. I did a test mix on it to show how everything works and how wonderful this controller is. If you are considering buying this controller, the only thing that you will need to do, get the controller, but change the power cord because it's not shielded. I hooked up the speakers when I got the new subs. I hooked it up, and this hum was unbearable. And I do recall it happening on the previous gig I did for a friend of mine for her birthday celebration. So, get the Reloop Mixon 4. Yes, there is a Reloop Mixon 8, and it looks absolutely fascinating. But it's cool to get the Reloop Mixon 4. Just make sure you get the power cord. I don't know how to put a link in the YouTube video or on the bottom of the page. I'm still learning YouTube. But if you go to Amazon, and put in Reloop Mixon 4 shielded power cable, and you should get a few choices there. But make sure it's shielded. Now, like I said, this is a gear video. I want to go over some gear that I have as a kind of a beginning gig DJ and beginning gear. Now, as you see in the background, I do apologize for the garage because the garage right now is a total mess. Not a total mess, but I needed to make some room so I can test out these speakers as a set. As you can see on the tops, those are Rockvilles, RPG 122Ks. What do they come with? The package itself is the two speakers. This one right there is the power speaker. That one right here, and we go back this way, right here, is the passive speaker. So the passive speaker through one cable goes right into the power speaker. It has 1,000 watts max power, 500 watts program power. I don't know what that is. And of course, 250 watts RMS, which is more than enough for especially small to medium-sized gigs. Now, the RPGs 122Ks, there are a few videos out there about it, so by all means, take a look at it. They're very helpful information, and they go pretty loud. They got a 12-inch speaker and a horn tweeter. They also come with the poles. You'll see that the poles are here. There are stands with the poles. The poles are able to slide right out. And I've set it up in this configuration here. So for $298, you get the two speakers and you get the poles. I am talking to you through the Rockville mic that came with the speakers, along with the cable that goes directly into the speaker and use it as a mic. It is a PA system. So, recommend the Rockville RPGs 122K, especially as a starting video. Yes, I do recommend it, and that's because it's not bad sounding. If you get way up in the volume range, it will sound raspy. So you got to be careful with that. We're talking about over 100 dBs. Yes, it can go up to 100 and plus dBs, decibels, but it will crank you up. So Just keep that in mind. Again, it's $298 for the two speakers. And but the biggest thing that's going to make the speakers sound wonderful are these two things here. The subs, they are Harbingers, S12 subs. Now, the only thing about the Harbinger S12 subs on YouTube is a video from Two Dudes Audio. They filmed it in February 2022. And what they do is that they purchase DJ PA speakers and they completely break it down. They completely break it down to the point where they take out the subwoofer and show you what the amp looks like, what's inside the subwoofer, how the subwoofer is made, all the bells and whistles that comes with the subwoofer. Now, with the Harbinger S12s, they have a 12-inch subwoofer, a 12-inch driver. It is made from it's not MDF. It's plywood. So it's made out of plywood. And on the handles first, they're not like your plastic or metal handles that just attach to the side. These are built-in handles. So very easy to move about. And I'll get to that in a few. Also, what comes in the sub is that it has 1,000 watts peak for each sub, 1,000 watts peak, 400 watts RMS at 8 ohms, which is very impressive. Also, they have crossovers in the back. They have crossovers to the point where you can go up as far as 120 plus hertz. So you can switch the crossover to where you desire. Now, the key to that is that the crossover not only works for the subs, but it also works for your two top speakers. So you don't have to pick up the Harbinger V2310 or anything like that. You can use your whatever top speakers that you have. It will control the frequency on it, which I find very interesting because a lot of the subs, some of the subs that are 15-inch and even 18-inch sub don't have that. The other thing is that it also has a phase switch. I have the sub set at 0 for phase, and it is incredible. Now, and it also has a delay. So I guess the further away you are, the more you want it to, be delayed so you can get that information back there as well. I think that's how it works. And it has a volume control. So it has XLR inputs and out. So the way I have it hooked up is that I have the XLRs going directly from the reloop Mixon 4, and they have XLR outputs into the subs, and then from the subs up to the two tops. And the thing about the RPG 122K is that it has XLR inputs. They're shared. There's a button. You can press the button for channel 1 and channel 2. It can either be mic if you press the button or line. So, of course, I have it depressed for line. So the XLRs, I'm going at one sub goes to the left side, and then the XLR from the reloop to the other sub is going up into the other side of the of channel 2 of the RPG 122Ks. Now, Two Audio Dudes gave this a 10 for obvious reasons. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. They gave it a 9 out of 10 for obvious reasons. It's well built, it's put together, and it sounds incredible. Now, it's not an 18-inch sub. Now, 18-inch subs do an incredible amount of work. They get down deep bass, deep, earth-shattering, floor-moving, building-shaking bass. But guess what else? These two 12s together come pretty close to it. Now, the reason why I needed the Harbingers S12s was due to weight. I have a defibrillator placed in me, and at the time, years ago, I was a bodybuilder and so forth and so on. So lifting heavy stuff was no issue until I had the defibrillator put in, and couldn't really do that anymore. I can only do a quarter of it. Buying an 18-inch sub or a 15-inch sub, the weight behind it is going to be incredible. I mean, for a 15-inch sub, it can weigh from 75 to 85 pounds. 18-inch sub can weigh from 85 to 90, 95 pounds. The Behringer 18-inch sub that weighs 99 pounds. Harbinger makes an 18-inch sub. It's close to 90 pounds. These Harbinger S12s are 46.8 pounds each. Yes, I said that. 46.8 pounds each. That makes it easy. Picture this. I buy two 18-inch subs. Let's do with one. I have a gig, and I've got to load it onto my truck. I drive a Dodge Ram 1500 Classic 2020. But I would have to, fitting in the bed is no problem. I would pick up the 18-inch sub at about 90 pounds, put it in the bed, load everything else in the truck, get to the venue, unload everything at the venue, bring down that 90-pound 18-inch sub, and then roll it to where I need to set up. And then at the end of the night, when I'm tired, exhausted, I've got to do the whole thing all over again. So I have to lift that sub up, put it in the bed of the truck, put everything else in the bed of the truck, and come home, and guess what? One final time, I have to lift that sub out of the bed of the truck, put it back down, and you get the picture. 90 pounds for a sub is, wow, it's a lot. It is a lot. So that's what went into my mind when I looked to purchase these two subs here. They were only 46.8 pounds. I mean, compact is compact, but it's not compact in sound. Don't let the size fool you, because you will be pleasantly amazed. I auditioned one of these subs at Guitar Center, and it did have a Harbinger top on it. It was a 10-inch top, and it rocked. The one sub rocked that room. Again, it didn't get as deep or as earth-shattering as the 118, but it was good enough. I stepped out of that room to see how much I can hear from it, and it was very, very impressive. So on a budget, these will be your best bet. They cost $399, $400 each. Unfortunately, I missed the Memorial Day sale, and they had it for $299. I'm still kicking myself in the butt for that, because I could have saved $200. But unfortunately, no crying over spilt milk. So it's $400. And again, it has all the bells and whistles a lot of your regular subs don't have. And I think I mentioned it before, that the crossover controls not just what comes out of the sub, but what also goes to the top. Now I'm going to give a demonstration. It's going to be not house music, not yet. I need coffee. It's going to be some hip hop, but it's not one of those things that'll get flagged for copyright. So it's kind of like a free thing, and let you hear the bass, and hopefully the tops won't be so high. I had to turn the RPGs 122K down, because I guess it could be the mic, because it really captures everything, even at a small distance of about maybe about 5-6 feet. Um, so at 5 or 6 feet, the highs can be really piercing, but the bass is still thumping. So make sure you put some headphones on when you listen to the demonstration, because that's when you're going to get the best out of it. So without further ado, let me give a sound test and let you hear what you think. Before I start, I am using my Reloop Mixon 4. I'm using DJ Pro for iOS as well as my iPad. Again, it should be copyright free demonstration for the music, and everything is set at Unity or 12, with the exception of the treble. I came back from the treble on the RPG 122Ks. I came back a little bit. I'm set to like maybe 9 o'clock. So give a listen. Okay, you hopefully were able to hear the bass. Just give me a minute. Let me pull up some house music. Now, this is a mix that I did on actually just this past Friday. It's been posted on YouTube. I pulled it out through the iPad. Now, this is just straight from the iPad to the Reloop Mixon 4. It's not through DDJ. So the volume is actually a little lower. But I'll be turning it up just a little bit so you can get the. Actually, I may have to turn it down, so you can get the full effect without any raspiness. I can't turn down the tweeters as much, so hopefully, it won't sound too crazy. DJ Romeo Gray kicking it to you one more time on the House Music Buffet. It's 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West, 2 a.m. Saturday morning in the UK. This is the House Music Buffet on WeGetLifterRadio.com. Got a great show for you tonight. Gonna have some great hits from Block and Crown, James Silk, Jerome Robbins, Jungle Punk, Dennis Cruz, and much, much more. So let me satisfy your palate on the House Music Buffet on WeGetLifterRadio.com. Come on. Gonna start off with Where You Are, Angel. Hey, come on. Alrighty. Well, that's the demonstration. These subs are, I can't say enough about it. They said two audio dudes said 9 out of 10. They are absolutely right. And again, the reason why I'm posting this video is because it's a shame that there are no other videos about the Harbinger S12s. These are some thumping subs. I am duly surprised on how well they perform. I can't wait to get it out to the next gig. I can't wait to get it out in July to outside. It's a small outside event, but the one thing that I've noticed when I tested it yesterday with the kids is that we'd play some hip hop songs. And you know, hip hop has a lot of bass, and of course, 18-inch subs handle hip hop like a champ. So did these, up to a point. There was a soft clip, meaning that you see those two little LED lights on the bottom. They started to beat red every time when there was a punch, a beat with a lot of punch to it. So they started beat a little red, but it was not continuous. It wasn't a continuous red. So soft, a soft clip. Now, my daughter, she had her iPad, and I had it hooked up the same way that I had it hooked up in the Reloop Mixon 4. And one of the songs that she had was, I don't know the name of it because I'm not that much into hip-hop, especially the latest hip-hop. The other hip-hop, the old school hip-hop, by all means. But the newest stuff, I didn't. Anyway, but I didn't know this name of the song. And it didn't have just bass. It had that that deep rumbling bass. And she said she felt it in her chest. And she was about 4 feet away. So if you need subs, again, these two subs, they do pretty good with hip hop. I mean, I put on Today's Was a Good Day, and then I put on one of the biggest tests, and I knew it was going to test the subs, was Mobb Deep, Quiet Storm. And yeah, there was a soft clip in it, but what you do is that you back the subs up a little bit. But most of the hip hop songs that I played through that and everything else, everything was set at Unity and or 12 o'clock. I had the phase set at 0. The distance was set halfway. The delay was set halfway. And the volume, like I said, the volume was set at Unity. The tops were set at Unity, and again, you had to back up on the rock fills a little bit because the horns are, it can get irritating if it's cranked too loud. And when I had it set right, it was a wonderful blend. I had the crossover set at 100 for each of the subs, and of course that will represent 100 in the Rockvilles as well. So anything above 100 went to the Rockvilles, and because it's at 100 hertz, the Rockville is going to get some bass. It's going to get a little bit of the punch of the bass. So in other words, you're going to get a full range. That's the difference. Some speakers, if you don't know how to set up the crossover, you're going to get like highs, crispy crackling highs to your tops, and all your sub is going to do is make the bass deeper. So you have to be careful. The idea is it's not quantity, it's quality. It's the quality of the music that makes the people dance. So and these two S12 Harbingers will add enough bass to make you want to dance. And that's what I'm excited about. Again, it's $800 for the two, $300 for the top to go with the stands. My Reloop Mixon 4, I paid $7.99. I think is now up to $8.99, and now they have a Reloop Mixon 8 that's incredible with a display screen inside the jog wheel, like the Pioneer 1000. So and then the toggles for your effects. So I'm excited. I'm not getting it now, but still, they tell you, and when you begin as a beginning DJ and you're looking for the equipment, but you don't have the right budget, depends on what direction you want to go. If you want to do gigs on a full-time basis, then by all means, make sure you get the top brand that you can get, i.e. EVs or the LD Mauis. By all means, if you can afford it, you can get it. I think those Mauis are about $2,000 to $3,000 a pop. But if you're just starting, even some DJ says, well, you're going to get what you pay for. But if you're just starting, this is not a bad setup. This is, I think, because of how the subs sound, and that makes a difference. This is not a bad setup. It's about quality, not quantity. So it's not a bad setup. For less than $2,000, you're getting a controller, and a controller and subs. And if you wanted to put more towards your sound itself, then you get a smaller controller, so you can put the money towards your sound. And like I said, this was well spent money. So again, I can't wait for the gigs, my next gig, to work these bad boys out. And again, I'm duly impressed. I agree with Two Audio Dudes. 9 out of 10 for that, for the Harbinger S12s. And it's a shame, that there's no other videos about it, but I'm doing one. Now, I apologize, and you might hear a hum, some feedback. I don't know how to get it out from the computer, and it's probably time for a new mixer, a mic mixer. And again, I have the Reloop hooked directly into the subs, and then through XLR, and then XLR out into the two speakers, or at least to the one, and then a bridge over to the passive speaker. So again, this is DJ Romeo Gray kicking it to you on the gear side. And again, join me on Friday evenings on WeGetLifterRadio.com, the House Music Buffet. Hopefully you'll enjoy the palette. Good night, guys, and thanks for shopping. Thanks for stopping by. And remember, subscribe to my channel. Give me a like. I would appreciate it. Thanks.